Hi friends, in my previous video, I have already explained what is overriding and how it works in Java. In today's video, I am going to explain some rules for overriding. Let's see the first rule. Method signature must match in overriding. As we know that method signature means method name followed by the parameters, the type of parameters. So the method name and argument types in the child class must be exactly the same as in the parent class. So the method signature must match while we are overriding the methods. Let's see the example in VS Code. Let's create a main.java file, and inside main.java file we'll take a parent class parent, and inside a parent class we take a wake up method name is wake up followed by the zero parameters, and here we we are keeping a print statement waking up at 6 a.m. and we'll take another class which is a child class which extends parent, and this child class is not satisfied with waking up at 6 a.m., so it wants to override the wake up method. So while we are overriding, we are safe to keep override annotation, and to override wake up method we have to follow same signature. So the here wake up followed by the zero parameter, here also wake up followed by the zero parameters, and child prints wake up at 8 a.m. So here wake up method is being overridden. Whenever we are overriding a method, the method signature must match. Here wake up followed by zero parameters, and here also wake up followed by zero parameters. If we keep another parameter here, if we keep one parameter, it raises an error, because whenever we are overriding a method, the method signatures must be exactly matched. Here method signatures are not matched, so it raises an error. So we should match the method signatures in order to override the method. Let's see the second point. Return type rule. Java 1.4 and earlier versions, the return type must be the same as the parent method return type. So if the parent method return type is int type, whenever we are overriding that method, the child method also return type also must be same. It should be int type. So the return type must be same before Java 1.4 and earlier versions. But from 1.5 and later versions, covariant return types are allowed. Covariant return types means those return types which have parent and child relationship. As we all know that object is a parent, string is a child. So if a method inside a parent class returns an object, we can override that method inside a child class which can return string, string buffer, a string builder, which are the children of object. So covariant return types are allowed, meaning the child class method can return a subclass of a parent return type. So let's see an example here. I have taken a parent class. Inside a parent class, I have taken a method m1 which returns an object, and I am overriding this m1 method in the child class which returns string. So here the return type is object, and here the return type is string. These are valid because these are covariant. Here object is a parent class and child is a subclass. That sorry, string is a subclass. So object and string have a parent child relationship. So these are allowed while we are overriding. So let's see here. Here, if the parent class method return type is object, child class return types may be object or string buffer or string builder, etc. So all the subclasses for the object are valid for overriding. Whenever we are overriding, we can keep any return type in these. So if the parent method return type is number, child, whenever we are overriding, Child return type may be number, maybe integer, double or float. These are valid. So covariant return types are valid while we are overriding. Let's see in the VS Code. Here, if I keep the return type as object and return null, which is a default value of object, here the return type is object and returning null. So here we can keep object. We all know that same return type. Whenever we keep object, it is valid. If we keep object, it doesn't raise any error. If we keep string, it doesn't raise any error. If we keep string buffer or string builder, it doesn't raise any error because object and string builder are covariant return types. Object is a parent, string builder is a child or a subclass of object. So while we are overriding, these are valid. So covariant return types are valid while we are overriding the methods in Java. Or if here we take a number type and we can take here double or integer or any class which is a subclass of number. So if here we take a number, here we can take number or double, float, integer, anything we can take which is a subclass. So covariant return types are allowed while we are overriding the methods in Java. So you should remember this point. And let's go for the third point. Covariant return types apply only to the object types and not to the primitive types. Primitive types in the sense char, short, int, float, double, those are the primitive types. So if we take the int here, inside a parent class, if a method returns int, get value method returns int. So inside a child class, get value method should return int only, should not return double. Let's see in VS Code. If a wake up method returns int and here int 6. Here wake up method is returning int of 6 value. So here if we keep int and if we return 10, it is valid because here return types are same, method signature is also same. So we can override like this. But if we keep here double, it is not valid. Or if we keep here short, it is also not valid. So the covariant return types only allowed for object types, not for primitive types. Or if we keep here double 6.5, it is returning 6.5. If we keep here int and if it returns 10, it is also not valid. Although double is a higher data type and int is a lower data type, it is not valid. So covariant return types only valid for object types only, not for primitive types. You should remember this. And fourth point is private methods can't be overridden. If a method is private, if a method which is in a parent class is private, so they can't be overridden because private methods can be allowed only inside that parent class only. We can't access that methods outside of that parent class. So we can't override the private methods. Private methods of the parent class are not inherited. We can't inherit private methods because those are private. We can access only that particular class only. Those methods cannot be accessed inside the child class. So overriding is not possible, not applicable. Next, final methods can't be overridden. If a parent makes a method final, those can't be overridden because parent decided that method declaration is final. So a child can't override that method. A child can't change the body of that method. Let's see. Here we are taking a wake up method and printing something like wake up at 6 a.m. and we are overriding this method inside a child class and we say wake up at 8 a.m. Here, if parent makes this method as final, if we make this method as final, here parent declared wake up method as final. So if we want to override wake up method, it raises an error, says that cannot override the final method from parent. We cannot override the final methods because parent himself declared that method as final. So we can't override that particular methods. So you should remember that final methods cannot be overridden. So let's see the last point. Access modifier rule. You can't reduce the visibility of an overridden method, but you can increase it. Let's see the visibility means private method have visibility only in that particular class only. We can't access private methods outside the class. So private method have least visibility. Public method we can access anywhere inside the class, anywhere inside the package, anywhere outside the package also. So private public methods have more visibility. So you can't reduce the visibility while we are overriding a method, but we can increase its visibility. Let's see. Here, here inside the parent class, wake up method visibility is default. So while we are overriding, we can make the wake up method with a default. We doesn't increase or decrease the visibility here, or we can make it public also. So if we make the wake up method from here default to public, so we are increasing the visibility of wake up method. But if we make it private, we are decreasing the visibility. So it says that can't reduce the visibility of the inherited method from parent. So we cannot reduce the visibility of a inherited method from parent. We can only increase, but we can't decrease or reduce the visibility of the overridden methods. So let's see the visibility scope. Private has least visibility, then default, then protected, then public. So public has highest visibility. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe for more videos.